Adam, first off, I guess the Captain Obvious question, how did it feel to finally sleep in your own bed for 2 nights in a row?
Honestly, strange. I think just the routine at home, just being. It's nice to have a homestand here and hopefully get some practice time, but it's been a quick turnaround, so you just got to get ready for the Bruins tonight.
And it's kind of interesting. You mentioned the Bruins. Out of the last 5 games you will have played after tonight, 3 of them have been against the teams that have made the coaching change. So I guess, I don't know, you kind of used to this now?
Yeah, I think, sometimes stylistically things change, but generally mid-season coaching changes. There's not a ton of changes. I think, the teams usually come out and, want to put forth a good effort. They want to, make a good impression on the new coach. So, we'd expect the same. Obviously, the Bruins, kind of historically, they've been a real good defensive team. They make it tough to get to the net, and I know they're not thrilled with how they've started the season. So we expect their best tonight.
Like the video still applies. You don't have to go back into the coach's history.
Honestly, we haven't even watched any of the pre-scout with Boston. So that would be something you could ask me maybe right before the game where we see it. But I think the coaches will have a pretty good idea of what they're running. Whether it's from previous games or, like you said, previous experience with who's now behind their bench. So regardless, I think the stuff we watched this morning, the stuff that we can focus on is the self-inflicted kind of things that hurt us last game and have kind of hurt us over the last 10. So like I said, we got to be ready. Boston's, they got great depth. They've got a big team. They make it hard to get to the net, so we got to be willing to go there tonight.
Sunday post game, Scott was saying that the club is getting a little bit away from the attack mode that was sort of your hallmark earlier in the season, trying to make one extra pass too much. What contributes to that, and how do you sort of get away from that and back to your bread and butter?
Well, yeah, I think sometimes you don't want to deliver pucks if people aren't at the net, and sometimes too it's just you want to make that one extra play. You feel like your opportunity might not be as great, and you want to get somewhere better. But I think sometimes to create that chaos, to create those next plays, you got to force teams to collapse. You got to force teams to make reads off loose pucks and things like that. So I think that's something that we definitely need to get back to is being a little more direct. I think if we have plays, we still have to try and make the plays, obviously. But delivering pucks to the net, can hit a body. Sometimes forces a guy to lose a guy, take a penalty, and it's that's kind of how we need to start generating some more offense.
3-2 half-ice drill for the morning skate. Is that perhaps something that sort of feeds into what you're describing there, being more direct, trying to jam at the nets a little bit more?
Well, I think so. I think some of it's just get up to speed. Coming off an off day after a back-to-back, you kind of get that battle level back. D sorting out, playing odd man rushes, and like you said, delivering pucks to the net. I think you saw it there. Guys getting chances in the slot aren't trying to find a guy backdoor. They're delivering them to the net.
What have you learned about the kid at Chibrakov's game over the last couple of years here?
Pardon?
What have you learned about Chibrikov just from training camps, and obviously got his debut at the end of last year?
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of skill. He's definitely earned the opportunity. I think one thing about him, he's real tenacious. He's good on the forecheck. For not being a huge guy, he likes to go to those dirty areas. He's got tremendous skill, a great playmaker. So, we're looking forward to seeing how he complements Vladdy and Fetz. Obviously Lambo came in, and I thought as his games went along, he got better, he got more comfortable, and it's one of those things. It takes time. I think to get both these guys the opportunities, to get some games and get their feet wet at the NHL level. I think it's going to be huge for their development.
You guys go against the opposition's best most nights. What kind of challenges does Pasternak himself present, just as such a pure sniper?
Yeah, I think he's one of the best goal scorers for sure in the league, and I think when you look at a guy like that, anytime the puck's on his stick, he can score kind of from those sharp angles. He's got an incredible one-timer. He doesn't need a lot of space. I think one of those ones is obviously you want to deny him the puck in the slot, but he's going to hit one-timers from the bottom of the circle, basically in the corner, and generally he doesn't miss. So I think it's always knowing where he is on the ice, but as being such a great goal scorer, he makes great plays. I think you saw the play he made in overtime the other night on the winner, and it's time and space for the guys like that. I think as much as you can get into them and limit their speed and limit their space, it's you kind of have to keep their chances as far outside as you can, and limit them. He's a great player. He's going to get his chances, and that's where Helly's going to have to make some big stops for us. But I think that's the biggest thing, is knowing where he's at all times.
Fun playing against the other guy, or is fun the wrong word?
They can make for long nights, I think. But it's a good challenge. I think you want to play against the other team's top players. You want to frustrate them all night, and I think it's more fun watching him when he plays other teams, and you kind of enjoy the the magic that he can make happen. But it's always nice going up against world-class players and doing your best to shut them down.
On that topic of going up against top players, I know it's only twice a year, but do you have any Brad Marchand moments over the course of your career when you played Boston?
No, fortunately he's been pretty nice to me, so I think I'm one of the few lucky ones.
How did you wrangle that?
I don't know. He's a great player. He's had a great career, so another guy that you look forward to going up to battle against.